Have you ever noticed that birds slowly stopped visiting your backyard? At first, maybe only a few disappeared. The cardinal that used to sit on the fence stopped coming. The sparrows that gathered near the feeder became fewer. The robin that hopped across the grass every morning vanished. Then one day, the feeder was still full. The bird bath was still there. The trees were still standing, but the yard felt empty. No songs, no fluttering, no movement near the branches, just silence. Most people think birds leave because of the weather, the season, or because they found food somewhere else. And sometimes that is true. But there is one backyard mistake that can make birds lose trust so deeply that they may stop returning for a very long time. That mistake is not always obvious. It is not always loud. It is not always something people do on purpose. The biggest mistake is making your backyard feel unpredictable and unsafe. Birds can forgive one small change. They can avoid a place for a few hours after a loud noise. They can come back after a cat passes through. They can return after a feeder runs empty. But when small problems happen again and again, birds begin to learn a pattern. This yard is not reliable. This yard is not safe. This yard cannot be trusted. And once birds learn that, they may stop visiting completely. So if birds used to love your backyard but now avoid it, this may be the hidden reason. And the strange part is that most people never notice it happening until the birds are already gone. The first way this mistake begins is with sudden changes around the feeder. Birds remember feeding locations. They remember where the feeder hangs. They remember which branch they land on first. They remember where the nearest shrub is. They remember where danger usually appears. To humans, moving a feeder may seem like a small thing. You move it from one branch to another. You hang it closer to the patio. You shift it near the window so you can watch birds better. You move it again because squirrels found it. Then again because the sun hits it too strongly. But to birds, every move changes the safety map. A feeder is not just a food container. It is part of a route. A cardinal may land on the fence, then move to a branch, then check the feeder, then fly to shrubs if something goes wrong. A chickadee may approach from one tree every morning. A sparrow may wait in the same bush before feeding. When the feeder moves too often, birds must relearn everything. Where is the food now? Is there cover nearby? Can I escape quickly? Is this new spot safe? Some birds may test the new location. Others may stop trying. And if changes keep happening, they may decide the yard is too unpredictable. A stable feeder location helps birds build trust. A constantly changing feeder teaches them uncertainty, and birds do not like uncertain places. The second way birds lose trust is when food is inconsistent. Many people fill the feeder for a few days, then forget. Then they fill it again. Then it stays empty for a week. Then old seed sits there too long. Then fresh seed is poured on top of damp seed. To humans, this may seem normal. Life gets busy. But birds survive by remembering reliable food sources. If your feeder is full one day and empty the next, birds do not understand your schedule. They only understand the result. Sometimes this place has food. Sometimes it does not. Sometimes the food is fresh. Sometimes it's old. Sometimes it's safe. Sometimes it feels wrong. A bird may check the feeder several times and find nothing. After enough failed visits, it stops wasting energy. Birds cannot afford to keep visiting places that do not reward them. They move on to places that are more reliable. This does not mean you must keep a feeder full every second. But if birds have built a routine around your yard, long gaps and spoiled food can weaken that routine. Trust is built through consistency. Fresh food, clean feeder, same place, safe surroundings. When those things stay predictable, birds return. When they keep changing, birds slowly disappear. The third way this mistake happens is through dirty feeders and unsafe water. A feeder can look fine from a distance. A bird bath can still look like a bird bath. But birds notice details people miss. Old seed shells, damp clumps, mold in corners, droppings on the feeder tray, dust, wet food, cloudy water, leaves rotting in the bird bath, tiny insects around dirty edges. To a bird, these are warning signs. Birds may not understand germs the way humans do, but they recognize discomfort, bad smells, strange textures, and the behavior of other birds. If one bird avoids a feeder, others may notice. If a bird lands, inspects, and leaves without eating, the pattern spreads. Soon, the feeder stays full not because birds aren't hungry, but because they no longer trust it. Dirty water creates the same problem. Birds need water for drinking and bathing, but they're careful around water sources. A bird is vulnerable when it drinks. It lowers its head. It focuses on the surface. It can't watch every direction at once. So if the water looks dirty, smells strange, or sits in an exposed place, birds may avoid it completely. A dirty feeder doesn't just reduce visits, it damages trust. And when a yard becomes known as a place with unsafe food or water, birds may choose another yard instead. The eighth reason birds may leave and never come back is repeated predator pressure. A cat passing through once may scare birds for a while. A hawk flying overhead may empty the feeder for an hour. A dog running through the yard may make birds scatter. But if predators appear again and again near the feeding area, birds begin to remember. A cat sitting under the feeder every morning. A dog rushing across the yard whenever birds land. A hawk using a nearby tree as a hunting perch. A crow or larger aggressive bird dominating the feeder. A squirrel constantly taking over and making the feeder chaotic. Birds do not need to be attacked to learn danger. They only need to notice the pattern. If the feeder is always connected with risk, they stop seeing it as a food source. They see it as a trap. This is why birds may suddenly stop using a feeder even when the food is perfect. The problem may not be the seed. The problem may be what waits near it. Birds remember where cats sit. They remember where hawks appear. They remember which shrubs feel dangerous. They remember where they were startled before. And if your backyard becomes part of their danger map, they may avoid it completely. To protect birds' trust, feeders should be placed where birds can see around them, escape quickly, and avoid predator hiding spots. Cover is good, but hiding spots directly under the feeder can be risky. Birds want safety, not surprise. The sixth way people accidentally push birds away is by standing too close. This is one of the most common mistakes because it comes from love. People enjoy watching birds. They want to see the cardinal up close. They want to take photos. They want to watch the chickadees land. They want to see if birds will trust them. So they refill the feeder and stay nearby. They stand at the window. They step outside quietly. They hold a phone. They move closer when the bird lands. They follow the bird from branch to branch. To humans, this feels harmless. To birds, it feels pressure. A bird does not know that you are admiring it. It only sees a large creature watching closely. And if that large creature keeps approaching, the bird learns that this yard does not give it space. At first, birds may simply fly away. Then they may wait longer before returning. Then they may visit only when nobody is outside. Then they may stop visiting during your normal routine. Eventually, they may choose another yard where feeding feels easier and calmer. Respectful distance matters. Birds often trust humans who are predictable and non-threatening. Fill the feeder, then walk away. Refresh the water, then leave the area quiet. Watch from a distance. Let the birds decide when to come closer. Trust cannot be forced. When people crowd birds, even with good intentions, birds may remember the yard as unsafe. The sixth reason birds leave is too much noise and movement. Birds can adapt to some normal background sound. They may get used to distant traffic. They may tolerate soft voices. They may ignore regular neighborhood activity. But sudden, repeated disturbances are different. Leaf blowers, slamming doors, loud music, children running right beside the feeder, dogs barking, garden tools, construction sounds, chairs scraping on the patio, gates banging. A bird feeding peacefully must always be ready to escape. When loud sounds happen near the feeder again and again, birds begin to connect the area with stress. They may still be hungry, the feeder may still be full, but the yard no longer feels calm enough to use.
Movement can be just as stressful as sound. A busy patio near the feeder, people walking back and forth, a door opening every few minutes, a dog running past, a swinging garden decoration, a tarp flapping in the wind, a feeder swaying too much. All of these things make the environment unpredictable. Birds trust calm patterns. They avoid chaos. And when a yard feels chaotic too often, birds may not return even after the noise stops. They remember what usually happens there. The seventh reason birds may leave is lack of natural cover. A clean, open yard may look beautiful to people. Short grass, trimmed edges, no fallen leaves, no wild plants, no dense shrubs, no messy branches. Everything neat and controlled. But birds don't judge beauty the way humans do. They judge safety. A yard with no